middle of a recording when that earthquake struck. Strong tremors have been felt in several parts of the national capital and the national capital region. However, how much is that on the Richter scale? What was the intensity and the depth? These are details essentially that are awaited. We are inviting the viewers to send out their videos if they've shot, like this one on your screens right now, of those people evacuating buildings, several of them in our very own office. We saw people evacuating the office building because the tremors were, in fact, they lasted for quite a bit, about 20 seconds and more possibly. Very, very strong tremors that have been felt in the Delhi national capital region. Also in Punjab, Haryana and Uttarakhand, and we'll be getting in more details on what really was the epicenter. We don't have that detail just yet. And also about the intensity and the depth of it. But however, earthquake has jolted the national capital region, Delhi city, Noida here, Haryana region, Punjab. Basically, the Indo-Gangetic plain is where the earthquake was felt. Ashutosh, in fact, is getting us more details. Ashutosh, where are you right now? What more can you tell us?
Sneha, I was just sitting here in the Connaught Place office, and we were just doing our work, and all of a sudden the massive tremors were felt, and then suddenly I realized the people from the first floor who started coming out, and then people, those who were here, some our cameramen, our colleagues, and they all started rushing out right outside. So that was a moment really scary. Pankaj, he's one of the store person. He is looking after the stores. क्या महसूस कर रहे थे आपने अचानक जब हुआ?
काफी चेयर हिला था और मतलब उसके बाद मैं नीचे गया था, फिर मैं वापस आया हूँ.
So initially for at least 8 to 10 seconds, it took a certain time to realize what exactly happening. Then I realized people from the first floor. Mukesh is one of the housekeeping staff. उस समय कहाँ भागे सबसे पहले? क्या पता चल रहा?
सर मैं ऑफिस में था तो एकदम झटके से महसूस हुआ तो एकदम मैं नीचे चला गया.
So at least it takes 4 to 5 seconds to realize at least what's happening. In fact, our coordination in charge, Mishra ji, please come here. बताइए हमें यहाँ पर आप लोग जब थे इस समय तो आप कैसे कहाँ चेयर पे बैठे थे? पहले क्या महसूस हुआ उस समय?
मुझे पता कुर्सी बैठा हुआ था, हल्का लगा, फिर हल्ला हुआ, भूकंप आई बस.
That was really scary. In fact, few of our colleagues also, because that's the first protocol when there is a earthquake-like situation. You immediately, when these are these people, Akhilesh and others, who eventually, that's the first protocol when it happens like earthquake or tremor something. Akhilesh, क्या महसूस किया और सबसे पहले आप कहाँ निकल के गए?
सबसे पहले तो हम लोग नीचे भाग के गए क्योंकि उस समय सर घूमने लगा बिल्कुल और काफी स्थिति खराब हो गई थी.
डरावना रहा होगा का?
बहुत ज्यादा.
And it was scary. Indeed, it was scary because 7-8 seconds it takes you to realize. And by the time those people are really quick, like if you're on this part of the office, you can move immediately. But those who are sitting like here in these cabin area, the chair area, they eventually realize and take quick action. And all of a sudden we realize
these Ashutosh, I'll just come back to you in a moment from now. Ashutosh is telling us what really happened when he was inside office. Details are as follows. Earthquake of magnitude 4.6 on the Richter scale is what we know. It occurred at, at 2:52 essentially, 2:52 p.m., which is just about 9 minutes ago. And the location is Nepal, but there are more details, in fact, that is awaited. These are details that we are putting out from the National Center of Seismology. The depth was 10 kilometers. The location is being said to be Nepal. These are the initial details that are coming in as far as the epicenter of the earthquake is concerned. Okay, so the National Center of Seismology has put out all the specific details. 4.6 on the Richter scale occurred today and on the 3rd of October at 2:52, and the depth was 10 kilometers, viewers. Also, the location is Nepal. So the epicenter of the earthquake was Nepal. We'll be getting into the exact specifics of where this was in the Nepal region, in this particular region, in this region. But what we know, and these are sketchy details coming in from the National Center for Seismology, that says 4.6 on the Richter scale, but it definitely felt stronger. In fact, the tremors were stronger in this region. We felt it in office, in Noida and Delhi NCR and the National Capital Region, also in Punjab and Haryana. In Uttar Pradesh, several details are awaited right now, but these are pictures, in fact, from India Today office, which is the Mediaplex office that you see on your screens right now, as a precautionary measure. All our colleagues, in fact, stepped out of office, and this, of course, is a precautionary measure. Pictures are from various viewers also, in fact, sending in these pictures. of people evacuating the buildings as is in fact required during an emergency like this. 4.6 on the Richter scale is what we know. Ashutosh continues to be with us. Yes, Ashutosh.
Well, 4.1, and on a Richter scale, you know, when you calculate this magnitude of earthquake, that's really huge. And when it goes above 6 or some, 6 or 7, then we see a kind of really a disaster. But somehow it was only 4.1. And having said that, because the epicenter remains to be the Nepal area, so this territory, the radius which is being felt in the northern part of India, so that means, of course, that potentially will not be really dangerous or causing some kind of disaster or havoc in this region. But indeed it was scary, and because we have seen several 6 to 7 Richter, we have feel that magnitude of earthquake. So it was really, all of people were like quite active initially when they fell. Most of these people are staff, our colleagues, literally went downstairs. In fact, still I could see all are watching televisions here, because that was indeed a shocking. So all are watching the broadcast, what's happening here. And in fact, most of the people who could save themselves, because that was really scary at the moment. So the first attempt was only to evacuate the office, and that's exactly what we should do. If you're in certain areas and if you have the passage, go to the safer places. There are those protocols we have been learning since school times when it comes to the earthquake or the tremors when you feel it. So that was the first protocol. Initially, what we also see, these fans, these kind of ceiling fans, or the fans were put out here, it was literally shaking up. So we could see the impact of this 4.1 Richter magnitude, and exactly all of them we felt it here. Like even sitting here for a second, it was realizing that maybe potentially this is a chair which is shaking about. But next 3 to 4 seconds, it was quick to realize that it was a heavy, really heavy earthquake in this part of India.
On the Richter scale is what we know. These are details that have just come in. As far as the earthquake is concerned, 4.6 on the Richter scale, and the epicenter is Nepal. In fact, there is a revised detail also that has come in. This is 6.2 on the Richter scale. Okay, this is the National Center for Seismology saying that the earthquake of magnitude 6.2 on the Richter scale, and the location is Nepal. So that essentially remains the same. Ashutosh, this is way beyond 4.6. This was a big earthquake. 6.2 on the Richter scale, and that's an update that has come in from the National Center for Seismology.
And trust me,
Yes.
while we were having this assumption on the first data that it could be potentially 4.1, the magnitude that we really failed of the tremor was way more than, because during Nepal and other places when we have come out, we have even seen the aftershocks. So when it goes to Richter 6+, that's really a scary scenario. One cannot really ignore it. You will feel it. So either it is on a sky top buildings or even on a single story building, you will feel 6.1 is really a huge, and it has a potential to bring really significant damage to these structures. Now, since the epicenter remains Nepal, still you see all our colleagues are lined up here. All are watching the broadcast, what has happened really, and most of the places that we are seeing the images, people have either evacuated the buildings, the institutions, the shopping malls, every places people are out on the road. And exactly reason is that this was not just a smaller scale magnitude tremor, 6.1, and it has really very potential to bring significant damage, particularly in the epicenter areas. And if Nepal said to be by the seismology that Nepal remains be the epicenter of this tremor, this earthquake, then we'll have to wait for more details. In fact, I'm tracking down certain Nepal news agencies or the website to follow if there are some significant damage has been done or how the people are reacting, but remains, because it's just been barely few minutes. We are tracking down the data whether there has been any damage so far. So we will be tracking all the updates, but for now, as you see, entire northern region is out on the road, as anyone and everyone who have felt this really heavy and potentially very damaging tremor 6.1, which is really huge. We see the reactions from the people who are really out on the road.